The Undertaker would have liked to wrestle this top AEW star, but first it's the end of all Elite Wrestling as we know it. On October 1st, AEW will host the Wrestle Dream event live from Seattle, Washington, with this being the latest addition to the company's ever-expanding pay-per-view schedule. Ahead of the show, AEW President Tony Khan would appear in a video package to hype up this weekend's event, with him making a huge claim that has caused fans to speculate as to what exactly he's talking about. Khan would claim that AEW are heading towards the end of a current chapter, with Wrestle Dream set to kick off a brand new era for professional wrestling, and he would say, "Next Sunday, October 1, it'll be one of the greatest nights in wrestling, with every match capable of stealing the show, and a card befitting the legacy of a kingdom that has touched every one of us. AEW and the world of pro wrestling will converge as the greatest champions and rivalries in this sport will take center stage live on pay-per-view. At AEW Wrestle Dream next Sunday, we will pay tribute to the dreamer that made this all possible, the late Antonio Inoki, with an event 1 year in the making. You won't want to miss AEW Wrestle Dream, as we'll end a chapter in wrestling history and begin a new era in AEW live on pay-per-view next Sunday night, October 1. The theories of what Khan's new era claims are in reference to has built up a ton of interest, with many wondering if we could see a major debut, with some even theorizing that he's bought New Japan Pro-Wrestling, a company Inoki founded, and a promotion that AEW have worked closely with in the past, with Wrestle Dream being the latest show to feature both AEW and NJPW stars. With that said, it could also be a simple marketing tagline for the show, although you can't help but feel like Tony may have an ace up his sleeve heading into Sunday, but I guess only time will tell how significant the event will turn out to be. And next, we have a concussion update on this former AEW champion. Last week on AEW Dynamite Grand Slam, Jon Moxley would find himself rocked during his International Championship defense against Rey Fénix, with him becoming concussed when the back of his head hit the floor during a dive spot on the outside, before two pile drivers later in the match left fans concerned. Due to Moxley's condition, there would be a change of plans on the fly, with Fénix leaving as the International Champion on the night, a decision that was made during the bout. Taking to Wrestling Observer Radio today, Dave Meltzer has provided an update on Moxley's current condition, and he would note, "Moxley's okay, I don't know when he's going to come back. He's got to pass protocols, but he's not feeling any weirdness or anything like that. There's nothing of grave concern, it's just a question of when he can pass protocols and whatever." We now wait to see how long Moxley will be away from television, and you can expect at least a short absence due to the concussion protocols, and it'll be interesting to see if he looks to win back the international belt when he does return, as to get his creative plans back on track. Next up, a former world champion is set to become a free agent. It's safe to say that over the past few weeks, the wrestling free agency market has started to spice up once again, with many top names now available following the expiration of contracts, WWE releases, as well as a contract termination with cause. Well, we now have one more name that's set to become a free agent, as according to a fresh report from Fightful Select, the contract of former Impact World Champion Sami Callihan is coming to an end, and the report notes, Fightful Select has learned that former Impact World Champion Sami Callihan's Impact contract is up in just under a week at the end of September. Callihan has been with Impact Wrestling since 2017 and is believed to be interest from both sides on possibly re-signing. The report adds that whilst a renewed deal with Impact is on the table, Callihan is able to speak with other wrestling companies. In that regard, PW Insider reported what they know about the situation, with them noting that Sami will in fact be leaving Impact when his contract expires, this on September 30, with multiple promotions said to be interested in bringing him in some cases as an on-screen talent, and in others in a backstage capacity. We can now add Sami Callihan to the growing list of upcoming Impact Wrestling departures, with PCO, Heath, and Deonna Purrazzo all having contracts that are set to expire. And next, a recently released WWE superstar has multiple offers on the table. Since his somewhat expected release from WWE last week, fans have been curious about Matt Riddle's next career move. The former US champion has a history of success in pro wrestling and MMA, leading to speculation on if he could return to his former profession. According to Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio, there is concrete interest from at least one major MMA promotion in signing the ex-WWE star, and Dave would note, "I do know that Riddle has got at least one major MMA promotion, if not more, that are interested in bringing him back to MMA. We can rule out a return to UFC due to not only the recent merger with WWE, but Riddle's more than contentious relationship with Dana White. With that said, there is a number of MMA promotions around that could potentially afford to pay his wages, with the PFL, Bellator, and ONE FC all feeling like good fits, and they could be looking to capitalize on the publicity the former WWE wrestler would bring them." And speaking of released WWE superstars, another has revealed the real reason behind their departure. Another name that was cut by WWE last week was Rick Boogs, somebody who was never able to fully establish himself as a top star on Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown. However, due to his sheer size and charisma, you'd think he'd be somebody Vince McMahon would love to push to the moon. Boogs would take to his YouTube channel on Saturday to post a brand new video where he would briefly address his WWE release, with him revealing some extra details in the comments section after the fact. According to Rick, Vince McMahon's recent scandal led to the end of his WWE push, and he would say, "I can say with 100% certainty the removal of Vince killed my career." Boogs would then reveal that he wasn't liked by an important figure in the company and would add, "Pretty much everyone in the corporate side of the company agreed about him being the ideal WWE star due to his size, look, and personality, which is why I was always the third-party guy doing commercials for Old Spice, Snickers, Mike's Hard Lemonade, and Toyota. However, one person clearly has some weird grudge against me." Next up, a top free agent has addressed a potential return to wrestling. Former NXT Women's Champion Mandy Rose would be released from WWE almost 1 year ago, this after catching heat due to content that was posted on her Fantime page. Since leaving the company, Rose has reportedly earned more than $1 million from her exclusive content, leading to speculation on if she would ever have the desire to step back into the ring, whilst earning a more than comfortable salary without risking her body in wrestling. During a recent interview with TMZ, Rose would discuss her life after WWE, shedding light on her future plans in the wrestling world, and she would say, "Financially, I've been doing really well. Personally and mentally, I've been doing amazing. I have so much more time to spend with my family and get involved with more things that I never thought I would get involved in. It's been awesome. I always tell people WWE is an amazing platform. I am forever grateful, but it's not the end all be all, and there are some amazing opportunities afterward. After seeing stuff today, WWE releases, I always tell everyone there are so many opportunities out there. I feel for people that did get released because that's not the phone call you want at the end of the day. I have a lot of connections and always tell them, you can call me, I have all the hookups. If you want to go my route, it's been amazing. I can't complain." Rose would then clarify that she does miss wrestling, but she would only return if the right offer came around, and she added, "I miss performing, I miss the camaraderie, I miss that adrenaline rush for sure. I can't sit here and say I don't miss it. However, I am keeping myself super busy to not have to think about it as much. I don't know about the future. I am a free agent now. If the right call comes around and I feel like making an appearance and coming back to any wrestling federation out there, I'm not saying it's a no, but right now I'm pretty busy. It has to be the right call." And next up, The Undertaker would have liked to wrestle this top AEW star. Throughout his career, The Undertaker has been praised for his willingness to protect his gimmick at all times, with him going extreme lengths to only ever be seen in a public capacity as the Dead Man, even during his time away from the arena. One modern star that has a similar take on kayfabe is current AEW World Champion MJF, who too isn't afraid to maintain his on-screen persona, successfully blurring the lines between fiction fiction and reality, something we covered in depth in our 10 secret facts about MJF video. This week on Jim Cornette's Drive-Thru podcast, a fan would send in a question regarding a recent appearance from The Undertaker at his One Dead Man show in Glasgow, where he would be asked who he would have liked to face in the ring from any company in the current era. First up, let's read out the email from the fan in question, which was read out by Brian Last, and it reads: Recently attended The Undertaker's One Dead Man show here in Glasgow, Scotland. In the Q&A part of the show, he was asked who from any company that is currently wrestling would he have liked to have faced in the ring. The answer he gave was MJF. Talked him up as a future star and loves the fact that he's solid in the ring and lives his gimmick. Also took a shot at AEW, referring to them as a second-rate company, which MJF needs to hurry up and leave. The AEW World Champion has since responded to the clip on social media, with him taking to X to state that it's an honor to receive such recognition and would say, "Not many higher honors than being praised by The Undertaker. Thanks, dead man." Whilst there's certainly a lot of differences between The Undertaker and MJF's personas, there's no doubt that the two men's approach to protecting the business is similar in many ways, with Max clearly taking a page out of the book of a lot of old school wrestlers that went the extra mile to have you question who they really are. And before you go, make sure you check out what's next for the WWE releases of September 2023.